violin parents. In this video, I'm going to talk about why, where, and how to put tapes or markers of some sort on your young violinist's bow. First of all, why do we put visual markers on the bow? Why does it matter where in the bow we're playing? Well, first of all, we've got the physics of the bow itself. The end with the frog is obviously heavier because of this, and the hardware here of the screw. The wood itself is thicker, and the bow tapers and is lighter weight out here at the tip. That means when you're playing in the lower half, you're going to get a heavier, harsher sound. And when you're playing out at the other extreme, the tip, it's going to be naturally, without forcing it or changing anything, a lighter, clearer tone. So that's why it's important where we're playing in the bow from the sound quality standpoint. Also from the mechanics of the bow arm. To keep the bow playing straight so that we get a good tone, we have to do a lot of little fine adjustments in all our different joints, from our fingers to our wrists to our elbows to even the shoulder. And it's easiest to start from what we call the square of the arm and simply open and close from the elbow with some slight, just allow the fingers and wrist to flex along with that. That means we're going to be playing in the upper half of the bow. And that's where we're going to get a nice beginner tone also. If we're playing in this part of the bow, there's going to be a lot more shoulder involvement as well as a more harsh quality to the tone. So even though it's very natural for young students to, pull their hands in towards them and set their bow up like this to start playing, that's not where we get the best sound. That's not the best place to learn our bow motion from. So that's why we want to put some kind of visual markers on the bow to help them learn. Where on the bow? There are a couple schools of thought of that. One is to just look at the bow and mark the middle. And you can get by with even just one tape. Some mark the middle, the tip, the halfway between. There are different things you can do, and that's totally fine. But sometimes the middle of the bow is not where the square is in the arm for the player. So a more helpful thing for you to do with your child would be get their violin set up in a nice balanced way, not drooping, not too high, just right there, not in front, right where it goes and where you've learned to put it. Get that violin set up there, and then notice when their arm is at the square with the bow on the A string, where is the bow making contact with the string? And you can see with me, that's not really the middle. That's a little above the middle for me, and it may be different for your child. So I would recommend that over simply marking the middle. Now, what to mark with? A really easy thing, if you happen to have them, I get a pack of 30 at the dollar store for $1, are these little tiny hair clips. And you can simply put them on the bow nice and easy. You can move them, you can take them off easily. That's the advantage of them. The disadvantage is also that you can take them off and move them easily. And also, if your student is pushing too hard, then the little hair clips, the little teeth there get down into the bow hair, so you can't push the bow down too hard when you have them on. So anyway, that's one really easy thing. You can, as I said, add them, move them, take them off. A little bit more permanent situation is to put a sticker or some actual colored tape on it. My preference is to choose a sticker that the child likes. In my regular teaching studio, I have little tiny smiley stickers, and we put it on so that the smile is facing the student, and they try to put the smiley on the string. I don't have those here with me today. I do have some glittery flowers. So I'm going to take a small glittery flower. Again, you want something that's not that much bigger than the stick of the bow. And I'm going to put that on there. I haven't stuck it completely on. I'm going to recheck where my square was. Again, right about there. Yep, need to move it a smidge. There we go. There's my square. And you'll notice with a sticker like this, it looks like it's going to come off, and it will. So what I do is just take a piece of transparent tape and cover that sticker up, and the transparent tape wraps around the bow. Child can still see the sticker that makes them happy. And we want all the positive motivation we can get. There you can see I've got the glittery flower. You can see it under this transparent tape. You can also use like a brightly colored electrician's tape or masking tape or something else like that. You want to do the best you can to avoid touching the bow hair, and especially avoid getting any tape on the bow hair. I wouldn't worry so much about the gunk that is left on the wood of the bow when you do take the tapes off at some point. If you're renting a violin and bow, the luthier you rent from will just take care of that when he cleans up the bow. They're used to dealing with students with tapes on the bow. The main thing is not get it in the bow hair. So there's my tape. If I wanted, I could add another one. Maybe about here, not all the way up to the tip, but somewhere 1/2 to 2/3 of the way from your first middle tape or bow square, arm square tape to the tip. You could add a second one there if you want, because in some of our first rhythms we want to cover about that distance. See how I've set it my square because I put my tape on the A string, and I open and close from there. I hope that helps you. Feel free to message me if you have questions.